Fantastic. Okay, sounds like we might have some students that are up for playing trivia in just a little bit. But before we do that, we're going to call Jenny up to have our last movie review slash discussion, more than a review. All right. So
this is a classic.
So Jenny recommended to us to have in our horror movie marathon a movie that has no place in any top anything list. It was a terrible horror movie.
Flopped at the box office big time when it came out.
The effects were just terrible. Oh my goodness. The foam rubber, and you could see the strings dangling from everything. We're talking, of course, about the 1980s version of The Thing.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, unequivocally one of the best horror movies ever made, and still the Gold Crown winner, and the thing in which other movies are judged in terms of practical effects to this day.
Even though it really did flop when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one wanted to see it. It was something to do with the fact that E.T. had just come out.
E.T. had just come out, and that was a cuter version of Aliens than this thing was.
All right. So we're going to get into the trailers so people can get an idea of what we're talking about if you haven't seen it.
If you don't know what we're talking about.
But regardless, we've done it for every other movie. We're going to do it for this one. Here we go. All right. The Thing.
Loved this movie from the very first time I saw it. I think I was 13 or 14, and I had my best friend sleeping over that night, and we were watching this movie in the family room. My parents were in another room in the house. They knew what we were doing. I'd been watching horror movies since I was 9 or 10 with my father, who also loved. He actually was the other person who loved Uninvited. Loved those kind of movies, but just loved horror movies. We're watching this thing, and there is one point pretty early on. There's a huge jump scare, and the two of us hit the ceiling. We jumped so high, and all of a sudden we heard my parents laughing. They knew exactly what part of the movie we were at. This movie was just fantastic.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do something that I don't think I've ever done before. I'm going to say that the statute of limitations is up on this movie. I think we should be able to talk about it freely. If you're a horror movie lover and you're watching this and you haven't seen The Thing yet, what is wrong with you?
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. That's what I just said. If you don't know what we're talking about, go home.
Scotty has input here.
Yep. Prepare to be ashamed. I had not watched the movie in its entirety prior to this to the marathon.
Nor had I.
Mentioned, I mean, I had seen
so
that.
What did you guys think?
Oh, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It's I think personally, and I don't know if they have, with practical effects, but I still think up there with The Thing is the first Alien film. I think Alien is
I think
belongs high on the list personally.
I think that was
Not
more
The Thing, but
no. I think that was more a marvel of set design and the art behind like from the screenboarding process.
Giger,
Yeah, I mean, H.R. Giger, absolutely. But when we're talking about the practical effects and the body effects and so forth, yes, the xenomorph alien was very clever. Never going to dispute that in a million years.
I just think monster design-wise, I think it's one of the best.
But what they were able to actually pull off on camera, in front of the camera, in real time, was amazing in The Thing. And I think that it's never really been matched since.
Like I said, I told you after we watched it, after watching it, I get it. I get why that is the bar. That's what everything has.
There's no headphones going on and off somebody's head. See, I mean, there are some parts in the movie, but you really got to look for them where you can see a boom mic or you can see an extra person walking by, but it doesn't detract from the movie at all. It's not a distraction.
Yeah. No, this is absolutely one of my favorites. And
yeah, mine too.
I thought that for me personally, the remake that they did, sort of remake.
Yeah, this was a remake.
Yeah. Well, this was a remake, absolutely,
from the Thing from Another World.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about the one that they did in the 2000s or so.
I've not seen it.
Okay, that was...
Not sure I want to.
Well, the real big issue for me on this one wasn't so much the storyline, which was actually kind of halfway decent. It's not a strict remake, but it definitely goes into the world. But the problem that I had with it is they hired on a special effects crew to do practical effects for this. And could you imagine being a part of a special effects crew, having a shop that you get hired on to do the thing? Really? Talk about a dream come true. And they do it. And they spend a ton of money and they make it work and they pull it off and they record and it's all on camera and they replace it with CG anyway.
Yeah. Now,
Absolute travesty.
they had a fairly low budget for effects
Right.
for this version. And Rob Boughton, young guy at the time, he was only, I think, 24 when he got this gig to do this movie. And he just did an amazing job. He did pass off the dog to, and I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name, another more seasoned effects artist. He passed that off to him. And after this whole movie, they both said, if I have to do another damn dog. But it was just amazing. He worked so hard at it on such a small budget.
Yeah.
This movie did not have a huge budget to begin with and then flopped at the theaters.
But it recouped.
It certainly did.
And the ending, like I said, I'm going to talk freely about this movie, but the ending, you had two main characters. You know what? Let's not name names, but let's just say we had two main characters left standing. And the question always comes up, which one was human?
Were they both human? Were they both?
Yeah, and that's.
Thing? Were they?
I mean, I'll spoil saying that it's ambiguous. They end without actually a saying,
Exactly.
but it's definitely always a big conversation piece. So I kind of want to roundtable this.
I don't think
What do
either
you-
of them were.
You don't think any of them are human?
Nope.
Then
It's a lot more depressing. Think about it. We know we're already like 90% sure McCready wasn't. There was the one point with his jacket where it's kind of you're unsure, but then they do the blood test and I just don't think. I think I had read somewhere that they were originally there was supposed to be a line in the movie where I can't remember the other man's name. There's McCready and who's the other one that survived?
Childs.
Childs.
Where he looks at McCready and says, "So you want to do another blood test?" He mentions doing another one. So I was like, I don't know. If that's true, then I think that they're definitely. I just can't imagine they can't leave obviously because if anyone is even anything remotely infected, it would spread. The world that'd be it. The world would be infected. We're doomed. So they're both they have to die. They have no choice. They can't leave. No one's going to come rescue them. Their only hope is to die, and with them, hope that.
And they know that
so
fire's
so
gonna
just
burn out
just
eventually.
to clarify, you're saying that they're both human.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they're both human. I don't think.
All right.
I agree with that.
Okay, well, I'm going to throw this one out there. It's established when Wilford Brimley is doing his autopsy, doing his studies and all of that, and it's established that a single cell could take over an entire organism.
Yes.
Okay? Which is where they do the blood test. If a single cell of blood, he cuts his own finger and then uses the same knife to cut everybody else's.
So you think they're both the thing?
I think they're all infected.
But then why in the world?
He cuts his own knife.
Yeah, but why in the world at the end, when two characters are left standing, if they're both the thing with a connected consciousness, why would they be talking to each other in any other way other than, well, we sure pulled this off?
We
sure did.
That brings up another question. When they are infected, are they aware of it? When they're fully taken over, are they aware of it?
You think this is like some sort of advanced form of like mitosis?
Yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting theory. All right. Well, does anybody have anything else they would like to add regarding the thing? No? All right.
It's hard to say. It's hard to add. I mean,
Yeah,
this is kind of like horror perfection almost. I mean, for monster movies, there's nothing else like it.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's awesome that it does leave those questions open.
Ambiguous endings are usually better. I
Yeah,
mean, not
and you can go
always,
back through.
like
You can
with,
watch the movie again and again and pick up on little things like that. and say, oh, well, wait a minute, he is infected, or no, he's not.
Yeah, I
The
mentioned earlier-
ambiguity
back and
was
forth.
wonderful.
I
Yeah.
mentioned earlier, speculation is one of the
Yeah.
most fun things about these types of, these films.
Yep.
It's fun to theorize. It's why like Five Nights at Freddy's has gotten so popular. There are so many theories as to what the actual story is because people love to speculate. It is proven. People want to talk about it. I mean, not that concise endings are bad. I mean, sometimes it's nice to have that closure, but it's just so much more fun when you can talk about it and oh, well, I think this happened. Well, I think this is it. It creates, and not only that, it generates a lot more buzz for it.